What up, gamers? Fencer here, and welcome back to Girls Frontline 2 Exilium. So yeah, Dmitry here is now out, and I just want to see if I can just right off the bat maybe get her, but yeah, I can maybe do like one 10 pull. Let's see what we got to do. Nope. Oh, what? Oh wait, no, that's that's the retired version. Okay, let me just skip. Yeah, I thought we got her weapon like the purple version of her weapon like right away, but no, that's the that's not it. Anyways, yeah, I just want to see if I can get her within the first 10 pull, but yeah, obviously we can't. Anyways, yeah, let's go and continue the event over here, the Exilium event, part 2. Maybe I can make more along the way. Here we go. 10-1 challenge. Alright, here we go. Yeah, so this will be the part 2 of the Exilium event. I'm guessing Dmitry will be, I guess, the center focus of this part. Kind of like with the first event with Ulrid and Suomi. Like with their banners, they seem to be like the center focus. After a night of rest and preparation, Hyde 404 and the Survey Corps set off from their camp and head deeper into the contamination zone. The two-party travels across the rugged terrain of the wilderness in separate vehicles. With her motorbike secured to an external trailer, Klukai drives her other 3 teammates in a jeep. This is Hyde 404, making a routine check-in. Come in if you copy. Pressing the comms button near the dashboard, Klukai connects to the encrypted comms channel. The voice of the communication officer speaks matter-of-factly through the speakers. This is the 3,762nd platoon of the 7th Environmental Survey Corps of the Neo-Soviet Union District Environmental Purification Project under the URNC Contamination Zone Management and Recovery Administration. Receive. Go ahead. According to the environmental data, we will be the first to reach the target settlement. Once we're there, we will follow the survey plan agreed upon this morning and start exploring the surrounding area with the settlement as the center. Due to the environmental factors, our travel speed is expected to be reduced by 20%. Copy that. First Sergeant Dmitry also said. On the other end of the channel, the communications officer pauses for a moment as if pondering something. First Sergeant Dmitry specifically instructed that you must keep at least one member connected to the regional comms channel to respond immediately to emergency commands. Roger, we'll go. When the exchange is over, Klukai disconnects from the encrypted channel and gestures for Andres to take over. I bet Dmitry was wanting his potty mouth again. What the heck did he even say? Even the comms officer had to take 2 seconds to translate it into a more diplomatic language. Most probably his usual gripes about us being rickety tin cans and a freaking waste of time. If he knows I'm a rickety tin can, then why is he being such a slave driver? Michi yawns and sprawls out across the backseat, laying her head on Andres' lap. Andres pulls a blanket over her in a thoughtful and tender gesture. Michi curls up comfortably and buries her head inside the blanket. First Sergeant Dmitry is a little foul-mouthed, but I don't think he is a bad person. I even saw him giving some children uppies at the settlement this morning. It doesn't change the fact that he scolded Big Sis Klukai. And you think too kindly of people, Andres. You think so? Oh, Leader Klukai. Connection established, we have the comms. Plug it into the speakers of the Jeep. Remember to turn off the microphone on our end. Alright. Oh, jeez. What is this music? We are the successors of Peter the Great, defending the comrades' hammer and sickle. We are the defenders of victory, guarding the red stars of the motherland. The moment the channel is plugged in, loud singing and some strange regional accents start blaring from the speakers. Michi, originally wrapped inside her blanket, jolts awake and pokes her head out like a groundhog. Turn the volume down. Wow, hard to say which sounds nicer. This or the House of Elids. Is it me or are they getting their lyrics all mixed up? Also, some of them clearly don't even know the song and are just humming along tunelessly. Well, I just ran a search on the main melody, and this appears to be a song that was very popular among the Neo-Soviet troops during World War III. There was a World War III? Whoa. The lyrics are basically a call to arms that encourage soldiers to rise against the enemy and defend their country and people. However, after the Neo-Soviet Union announced its entry into the URNC, as more soldiers from other countries were integrated into the military forces, most mainstream military songs were replaced with ones in a more common language and had more well-known tunes. And this particular song is rarely ever sung nowadays. You know, it is very interesting. Because yeah, it does look like the setting of this game, you know, it does take place in real world. Because we do see like real world locations from like Russia, I believe. But yeah, it is interesting to see that, you know, at some point they decided to manufacture these waifu machine like military dolls. It is interesting to think about that. That's coming to us in the far, far future, if we live that long. Is this mentioned in your local database? Since we're operating within Neo-Soviet territory this time, I thought I'd do some research on the area. I have the storage space for it. I know it's supposed to be a stirring song, but they make it sound so comical. It's so grating on the ear, I actually want to disable my auditory module. Equally perturbed, Kukai turns on the microphone with a scowl. This is Hyde 404. Cease your noisy antics immediately and stay vigilant. This is the Yellow Zone. There can be danger at any moment. The boisterous soldiers quiet down for a moment, but they soon return to their raucous ways. Hey, this is a military song. How could you call it noise? These songs motivate and unite us. Don't you feel anything at all when you listen to the music? I mean, maybe it's fine for them because they're probably just chilling out at a camp or something. But like we're kind of like on a mission. What if like elites attack from like any direction from us and then we couldn't even hear it? No. Also, your chorus lacks unity in tone, rhythm, and lyrics. I don't see how this promotes any sense of unity. I mean, I don't think they need to have that. If they're just, you know, as long as they can feel the sense of unity. Sheesh, we're not professional vocalists. Pish, what does that rickety bucket of bolts know? Dmitri's cursing interrupts Larian's reply. We sing whatever the heck we want. How is that any of your business? It's kind of our business if you're just blasting it out in our speakers and we're trying to like focus on a mission here. Just so you know, we're not machines, so don't go judging us by your stupid mechanical standards. Singing is all about feelings. What's the point in keeping in tune like you electronic speakers? Electronic speakers. Alright. You, Leader Klukai. Andres mutters softly to stop Klukai from losing her temper. You're right. You can sing whatever you want, but please turn off your microphone and keep the channel quiet in case of any important transmissions get lost. Yeah, that's what I thought about too, pretty much. I will naturally tell them to pipe down when an order comes through. You have no business telling us what to do. Then we will exit the current channel and come in again when the need arises. I just had someone relay my instructions, didn't I? One of you must remain online at all times. That's an order. Do I need to repeat myself? Fine. Man, that really sucks. Dmitry does not bother to hide his smugness as he laughs. Don't just sit there. Where are we? Keep singing. Stop acting like you're being starved, or I'll make you get off the jeep and walk the whole way. Oh wait, they're also traveling too, I guess? I thought they were like singing in the camp or something, but I guess not. Oh, there we go. The tuneless singing resumes. Klukai turns off the speakers on board in annoyance. Belka, put on your headset. You're in charge of monitoring the comms channel. Dang, that's gonna be a task. Just like listening to the to the like singing entirely. Huh? Me? No, I want to chat with you. First of all, we're currently on a mission, so I have no time for idle chit-chat. Secondly, Andres has to gather real-time intel. As for Michti, if we leave her to this to her, we won't even know if those soldiers are all dead. Yeah, better not leave it to me. In fact, don't bother to wake me up, ever. Hold on, so you're basically saying that Belka is more useful, more important than Michti, right? You can understand it that way. Yay! I will complete the mission, I promise. Sitting up, Rimrod straight in the passenger seat, Belka puts on the headset somberly, as if she is monitoring information of critical importance. Having regained her peace and quiet, Michti retreats back into her comfort of her blanket. Klukai floors the gas in exasperation. Andres, keep an eye on the situation and reports anything immediately. Understood. Judging from the video feed from the drone, it should be safe for now. Still, Leader Klukai. Andres is still wearing her calm smile, but she lets out a soft sigh. Mornings in the yellow zone are so much more desolate than in the green zone. Klukai makes no answer, as she continues to speed across the desert wilderness. Oh, we're just going to a battle just like that? Okay. Blah, and I thought I would be able to have a good nap this time. These elids are being too much, but do they not need to sleep? You better wake up. It's time for battle. Fine, I get it. Alright. Yeah, so I guess as an update to my units here, I almost got Klukai done. I just need to level up her weapon, and I think I'm just pretty much done with her character when it comes to like her for whatever I can do so far to build her up. Let me place like these two here. There we go. Combat start. Alright. Go do an auto battle. But yeah, hopefully I can get Michti. I feel like I think I said this before, but Michti is like the, I feel like the last like gacha character that I want to get. Like when thinking about all the other gacha games that I'm playing right now. Like yeah, once I get her, like I feel like I'll be pretty much done for a while. Like the only thing I can think of that maybe I might want to get, that I really want to get, would be the fake characters in like the fake collab for Honkai Star Rail, and that's pretty much it. After fighting off the elids, encounters are on the way. 404 presses on with their journey. Leader Klukai, we will arrive at the target settlement in approximately 2 hours. According to our current intel, there are about 60 residents at the settlement, though this figure who was recorded 2 years ago. The environment here. Andres peers outside the window and tries to ignore the conclusion her neural cloud has come to. It's very impressive that they have managed to keep living under such harsh conditions. Yeah, you should be prepared. The environmental data here is very much not up to date, so we could run into unexpected circumstances at any time. And wake up that invalid back there. That invalid. Sure. Despite what she just said, Andres does not wake Michti and simply lets her turn to the other side and continue sleeping. What dog wants to go out? There we go. Belka, any news from the Survey Corps? Leaning against the window and focus on the comm channel, Belka clearly has not heard Klukai's question. As the jeep rocks back and forth as it travels on across the bumpy terrain, Belka's lips move softly as she hums intermittently, her bright green hair bouncing in time with the rhythm. What? Is she like jamming out the music too? Since she's like bobbing her head. Huh? Belka here. What do you need, Big Sis Kukai? What do I need? I told you to stay on the line with the Survey Corps. What the heck are you doing? Should I send you to perform at the Non-Military Forces Administration's concert? Noticing Kukai's displeasure, Belka sticks out her tongue apologetically. It's because they keep singing the song. I've been listening to it for so long. It's kind of an earworm. Stay focused on the job. Don't make me tell you again. Okay, okay, Big Sis. Sure thing. Oh, that was it? Okay. While this loads, I need to text something really quick. Continue. There we go. Just had to text something really quick. Okay. Let's continue here. Oh, what the heck? Already some gunfire. With a loud rumble and the makeshift fortress temporarily converted from an old building shakes violently. The exposed and bent steel structure lets out a screech. The smoke and dust cause the soldiers lying on the ground to cough uncontrollably. The young soldier, firing wildly through the hole in the wall, quickly falls back and wipes the suit off his face, revealing his features. Young Dmitry gasps frantically for breath. Young Dmitry. So this is the past. Whoa, they even have a... They even made a model, like a character art for a young Dmitry. That's interesting. Oh, hey, pull yourself together. Something like that. But Dima, we're almost out of ammo. One more push from the enemy will probably... Before the soldier can finish, more gunshots and explosions resound beyond the fortress. They immediately drop to the ground. I feel like this will be like a flashback where it would try to make Dmitry more like relatable or humane, if I had to guess. Yeah, don't give me any of that. Remember what our squad leader said? Pessimism is the worst thing on the battlefield because it only serves to make us die faster. But the squad leader himself is ready. The soldier glances at a corner obscured in shadow. A burly man is slumped there, with dark crimson fluid dripping from his pierced forehead. The fluid has started to congeal, but half of his body is already soaked. His eyes are half open, but utterly devoid of life. He died in an assault when dawn was near, probably trying to determine if there were reinforcements in the distance through his binoculars. And just as the sky was tinted white, the one who was searching for hope fell before the door, leading to a brand new day. Dima, I miss my mother. She was always trying to talk me out of enlisting. This is the first time I got sent to the battlefield, and I thought I would go home in triumph, but just before I set off, she told me our cow got stolen a few days ago. That was the very last cow we had. Perhaps due to fear, the young soldier's speech becomes increasingly incoherent, and his gun hand is shaking violently. The weapon that's supposed to bring courage is now nothing more than a lifeless piece of scrap metal. Dmitry looks at him restlessly. Then he turns his attention to the other surviving soldiers, but most of them simply stare back at him with despair in their eyes. The incessant gunfire from beyond the fortress is generating thick, choking smoke. They have been defending this position for a week. Wow, for a week, wow. But there's no sign of any reinforcements. The soldiers no longer harbor any hopes of survival. Then you should ask her to buy a new cow with your bonus. Nikolai. Not faring much better than the others, the soldier named Nikolai seizes an opening in the enemy's fire and dives behind a heavy machine gun mounted by the wall. He promptly pulls out an ammo belt from a nearby box. You hear the gunshots out there? After securing a few loose bullets on the belt, he feeds it to the machine gun and confirms that the weapon is in order. Nobody answers him. The explosion erupts continuously in the distance. Bomber planes whiz past overhead, and the air raid siren is definitely loud. The intensity of the dense gunfire pales in comparison to the cacophony of all around. That's the sound of our comrades of the Neo-Soviet Union marching onward. The Neo-Soviet Union will not falter here, nor will I. Our motherland lies behind us. As long as she stands, I will not yield. Nikolai speaks softly, but the resoluteness in his voice pierces through the miasma of hopelessness in the fortress. During the reload break, Nikolai slings the rifle off his shoulder and tosses it over to Dmitry. What's this? I've got a gun. This rifle is from my old man. It has much better specs than your standard issue guns. Use it. Good man. Your father must have been quite something to be able to get his hands on this beaut. Yeah. We've got no time to talk. The next wave of attacks is about to begin. Dmitry weighs the rifle in his hands. He then shakes the nerves off himself and turns to his other comrades. Listen up, you lot. The squad leader said that reinforcements are on the way. If we make it through, the future will be ours. So hold on tight to your guns. We can stand our ground as long as we don't let them storm in here. Under Dmitry and Nikolai's leadership, the young soldiers once again mustered their resolve and start preparing for another round of defense and counterattack. That's more like it. Our dog tags are to be proudly displayed upon us next to our medals, not buried in some pitiful mass grave. I have a feeling that Nikolai is gonna die. Oh, what? I thought we were about to go into a battle. The impassioned cries in his memories blend into the alarm sounding in the present. Dmitry hurriedly stuffs the dog tag back into his pocket. First Sergeant Dmitry, Elite Horde spotted. 404 has engaged them. But yeah. Here they come again. There's no end to these dudes. I'll give them long-range support. Don't let the elites get close to the main force. Yes, sir. Oh, here we go. Here's the real battle. Dang, that's a sniper rifle. Starting assist mode. Hey, over there. Over here. Something feels off about them. Received. Now establishing new combat zone. So that's an ally? I am not sure. It feels like the same map, but like in a different camera angle. I'm not sure. Deploy? Okay. We'll just let it auto battle. Nice. There we go. Good job. Okay. Let's go. I guess I'll take 2 turns for us to finish this off. Oh, they're eggs. Are they going to hatch? Unless we, do something about it. And there's one more right there too. It doesn't look like we can reach it. That's fine. Oh, look. I think it's only 2 more turns until it hatches, but Ovid is able to reach over there. Nice. So I believe we're now about to enter our third. Yeah, our third stage. Yeah, I feel like we're gonna go by this kind of fast. We're like already halfway into the video here. There is a lot of chapters though. Okay. Let's just keep it rolling, man. We're not stopping for anyone. Code 404 arrives at the target settlement. The old and dilapidated walls are eroded from years of exposure to wind and sand, and the smell of decay permeates this modestly sized settlement. Maybe they simply moved away. I just double-check with the Survey Corps. They will investigate the settlement itself, while we're in charge of looking at the surrounding area within a radius of 500 meters. For efficiency's sake, let's split into 2 groups and fan out in opposite directions. I will pair up with... me, of course. Without waiting for Klukai to finish, Bilka quickly slithers over to her side. Fine, but don't do this again. You must obey my orders. Alright, big sis Klukai. Nice. Since I'm with Andres, I can. No slacking off. Andres, make sure she stays on the job, or you can join her in extra drills when we get back. Sure thing. Belka and I are heading east. You two head west. Get in touch if there's any problem. Now let's go. Klukai and Belka begin their search near the settlement. Big sis Klukai, I found something. Come and have a look. Klukai frowns as she peers over at Belka, who's bouncing up and down and waving at her, but she still circles around a boulder and heads towards her. We're on a mission here. Stop behaving like a rabbit on an Easter egg hunt. I found an important clue and couldn't wait to show you. It better be important. If you show me another backpack half chewed by elids, body pillow of some virtual idol, or dud landmine buried by some bounty hunter, you know what kind of punishment awaits you. It really isn't any of that. Just take a look. There's some really suspicious looking, what should I call them? Installation art? Belka leads Klukai over to where several strange rock piles lie exposed on the ground. The dark rocks are scattered across all over, their unnatural edges and jutting corners giving them an ominous air. The main structure shows signs of external damage. This isn't what they originally looked like. You're right, but I found even more important clues. Right here. Belka walks through the scattered rocks and stops by another pile. Look, big sis Klukai. These ones are half buried underground, like some kind of foundation. Indeed, this type of rock is quite common in the yellow zones, but due to its hardness and brittleness, it's rarely ever used as building materials. Since they are appearing in such high density here, these rocks were very possibly gathered here deliberately. Could it be Paradius? Or did residents find some special use for these rocks, then left them behind? Hard to say at the moment. In any case, take some photos and send them over to Leva. Ask her to look into them. Okay. So, big sis Klukai. Seeing Belka's please shower me with praise face, Klukai sighs in defeat. Your discovery was not entirely useless this time. I got praised. Now wipe that dumb grin off your face. Get on with the search if you're done sending the photos. Understood. Give me a minute. No, I'll have it done in 30 seconds. Klukai and Belka continue with the investigation along their planned route, but they find nothing else noteworthy. Big sis Klukai, there doesn't seem to be much else here. Why don't we head back? Oh, the survey corps just sent the news. They've arrived at the settlement and started their survey there. Send them a response. Tell them 404 is about to wrap up on our end. We'll rendezvous with them at the settlement and decide on our next steps. Roger. Huh? Big sis Klukai, look at the white smudge on that rock over there. It seems to be... Dmitry? Has their search already taken them here? That stupid dude can't sleep anywhere. Belka grins widely as she watches Klukai march angrily ahead. Oh boy, Dmitry, you've pissed big sis Klukai off big time. Not even Andres can save you now. Then I'll just have to win big sis's heart with my outstanding performance. As Klukai approaches the large rock, she realizes that Dmitry isn't actually dozing on it, as she initially thought. In fact, Dmitry is perched on top of it to study a jeep covered in sand that's behind the rock. Andres is also peering inside the vehicle through the window. I really can't see anything from above either, Andres. Then we'll have to contact Leader Klukai. You better get down first, Dmitry. What are you doing? Startled by Klukai's voice, Dmitry, who's climbing off the rock, loses her footing and slides right off, landing on her backside. Holy crap, don't just pop out of nowhere behind me. Jump scares are the most cliche of cliches. Even horror games these days don't resort to such cheap tricks. Cut the crap. What are you two doing hovering around this jeep? Leader Klukai, you've discovered an abandoned vehicle here. Judging from the amount of accumulated sand, it has been here for at least half a month. Also, we found this on the vehicle. Klukai circles over to Anders' side and spots a familiar logo on the wiped-down front door. The jeep is covered in bullet holes and scratches. Isn't that the logo of the URNC Purification Project Survey Corps? Yes. We tried to open the doors, but they're jammed, probably because the impact of the vehicle has sustained. Considering the fact that this may be relevant to the first Sergeant Dmitry's mission, we decided against breaking the doors by force and try to look inside through the windows. Yeah, I just realized something. So I thought back now to the past of Dmitry. I'm wondering if his hatred for dolls was like in the past. Like he fought some dolls and that led to like his men being killed by those dolls. Like I thought about it because like what if for some reason Dmitry, if they saw this jeep right now covered in bullet holes and the dolls are like standing next to it, they might think that these guys, the Hyde 404, were responsible for it. Of like I guess destroying this jeep of the URNC. Yeah, I just thought about that now. I'm guessing that's why he hates the dolls, because maybe in the past he had some bad encounters with dolls. But the windows are covered in one-way film, so we can't tell what's in there. Right, that's fine. Belka, you'll just stand here. Contact the survey corps and get them to send over someone over. Huh? Okay. Disappointed by the way things have turned out, Belka contacts the survey corps and informs one of them of 404's discovery. Big sis, I've sent them the coordinates. They said they'll be here shortly. Good. Michti, force the door open, and the rest will record the whole process just so everything is clear. Huh? Making me do physical work again? Despite her complaints, Michti still walks up to the vehicle door and takes aim at the lock. We left the crowbar back in our jeep. Can I just shoot this? Sure. The rest of you stand back. Don't get hurt. Here I go, okay? With a burst of gunfire, the lock is penetrated by the bullets. Done. The rest is all up to you then. Wake me up when it's time to leave. Kukai pulls the door open, and something dark immediately tumbles out. It is a corpse of a man. The hands are clutching a gun tightly. His army uniform is covered in a large patch of dark brown, especially around the abdominal area. What if like this is part of the team that Dmitry was a part of? It's the uniform of the survey corps. Oh, there are two others in a jeep. Judging from the crystallization on the wounds, the time of death must have been more than 2 weeks ago. Oh, this is more recent. It's not like yeah, it can't be Dmitry's, like young Dmitry's men. Yeah, this is more recent. Anders tries her best to steal her neural cloud as she takes in the pockmarked vehicle and the stains in the interior. She's never seen such a grisly sight in the green zone. The bloodstains suggest that they died from severe blood loss after being injured and taking refuge here. He's still gripping his weapon, so they were on the lookout till the very end. Also, the vehicle's age. Anders scrambles to gather all the information available, but she cannot stop her voice from wavering. Anders, go wake Michti. Understood. Sorry, and thank you, Leader Klukai. Belka watches Anders with some concern. Big Sis Klukai, is Anders okay? Is she gonna crash again? That's alright. She was a civilian doll. It'll take time for her to get used to the world we inhabit. Yeah, and the green zones and the yellow zones are so different. Sometimes they do feel like two entirely separate worlds. All human habitats used to live in places like the green and white zones, right? Taking in Belka's unease, Kukai ponders for a moment, then simply gives out a piece of advice. Don't let Anders' Sentimentality gets you. The past has nothing to do with us. The human's current predicament also has nothing to do with us. I understand, begs Kukai. Extract the remaining 2 bodies from the jeep and see if you can find anything else. Wait. Oh, Dmitry, here we go. That was fast. The soldiers of the Survey Corps have arrived at the scene. Dmitry walks up to the jeep and takes a look. Kukai backs up 2 paces to keep some distance between Dmitry and herself. We'll take it from here. You lot, get the 2 bodies out of the jeep. Be careful with them. After giving the order, Dmitry circles around the jeep and studies it closely with another subordinate in tow. The jeep is covered in bullet holes and dented on one side, probably caused by scraping against some natural land feature. The license plate number has been confirmed. The vehicle belongs to the MIA unit. Due to the extent of decomposition and the missing dog tags, the bodies in the vehicle are yet to be identified. Dmitry calmly voices all of his observations, while the soldier next to him jots down one by one. At this moment, there's no sign of Dmitry's former temper and surliness. His features are marked by the composure and maturity of a veteran on the battlefield. Finally, he returns to the front of the vehicle and watches as his subordinates extract the corpse trapped in the backseat. Found anything at the settlement? Yes. Dead bodies, infected with Elid, and gnawed to bits by Elids. Also your people? No, just ordinary civilians, but dressed in weird robes. Oh. Is that what are they called again? The United States? Have you got any visual records? That's enough. I'm not obliged to report my progress to you. Dmitry has not raised his voice, but his impatience is apparent. Paying no more attention to Kukai, he walks off and calls his superior on his communicator. This is the 3762nd Platoon of the 7th Environmental Survey Corps of the new Soviet Union District Environmental Purification Project under the URNC Contamination Zone Management and Recovery Administration. First Sergeant Dmitry checking in to give a scheduled update. Receive. What's the situation? Our survey mission is still underway, as per our orders. We have discovered a vehicle registered under the 1364th Platoon of the 7th Environmental Survey Corps, which was declared MIA, along with the remains of 3 soldiers. Lay them to rest properly. They are martyrs who gave their lives for the future of Rosartrism. Understood. In addition, sir, I must once again recommend withdrawing my platoon for now, and only resuming the mission when reinforcements arrive. Reason being, all 3 of the soldiers died from gunshot wounds. Their vehicle clearly bears the Survey Corps insignia, and the soldiers are in their uniforms. Bounty hunters or even the Fahrjägers would not engage them in direct confrontation under normal circumstances. I believe there may be some undocumented forces at work in this area. There is a high possibility that this was a targeted attack. The silence on the other end of the line makes Dmitry restless. Sir, I am not saying this out of cowardice, but we have encountered far more complications on this mission than expected. First Sergeant Dmitry, there are no gun regulations in the yellow zones. An attack on the 3 men is not enough evidence to support your claim. Besides, resources are scarce where you are, so Fahrjägers operating in the area are very likely to target straggling vehicles of the Survey Corps and plunder military supplies. Sir, do you even know what you're saying? First Sergeant Dmitry, continue with your mission. That's an order. Blindly following orders will not only hinder the progress of the mission, the entire 1364th Platoon is declared MIA, and I've already lost 1/3 of my own platoon. I can't guarantee the success of this mission unless we set off after joining up with our reinforcements. We can't stop. We're not afraid to die, but I don't want to pointlessly squander my men's lives over some crappy plan. Watch your tongue if you don't want to place the soldiers in our entire company in even more danger. Our survey is already progressing much slower than the other areas, and a significant portion of our men were from the same place. The Railway Force Survey Corps is the last refuge we have. Our fall from grace wasn't caused only by losing a war, and there is more at stake here than short-term resource allocation and personnel assignment. Dmitry falls silent. The URNC insignias on his teammates' uniforms around him are suddenly quite an eyesore, and here he thought he had already gotten used to the change. Alright, this conversation ends here. Continue with your mission. I'm dispatching the nearest troops to you to give you some backup. They'll get there ahead of the original schedule. After a brief pause, the warrant officer adds, "Stay sharp. I await your safe return." After the call ends, Dmitry stows his communicator away in silence. The bulky and stuffy protective suit is getting suffocating. A soldier who has been waiting for him to finish the call walks up to him. "Sir, the remains of all 3 soldiers have been removed from the jeep. We haven't expected them yet." "Right. I'll go take a look." By the time Dmitry returns to the jeep, he has already regained his composure. The dolls of Hyde 404 and the soldiers of the Survey Corps are standing around the corpses. "Sir, we have finished making all the necessary visual documentation. Should we begin the inspection?" "Let me do it." The soldiers move aside to make space for Dmitry. He solemnly approaches and squats down by the bodies. He rummages through their clothing thoroughly, taking great care to also scrape away the collapsed crystals formed on the wounds. His hands move efficiently, but with gentle respect. Where are the dog tags?" After a lengthy search, he finally fishes out 3 pieces of paper covered in stains from their pockets. "Salvage any usable supplies and bury the remains. And keep some of their personnel belongings that won't take up much space. Their families deserve to know." Dmitry falls back several paces and moves over to the jeep, then lays all these scrunched up pieces of paper that he just found on the hood of the vehicle. Klukai and Indaris huddle in for a closer look. Dmitry shoots them a glare but does not stop them. "They're all the same?" "Yeah. There are a lot of markings. Could these be maps? But then again, they don't have key elements you'd find on maps. Also, these numbers, and the word origin. What's origin?" Indaris studies the numbers next to the markings on the pieces of paper. "They don't make sense as coordinates either." "These are in military code, as if we just let you read such sensitive information. So you know what these mean." Lukai's question has obviously touched a raw nerve, as Dmitry immediately flies into a flustered rage. "Keep your noses out of this. All communications between units are encrypted with our own unique cipher to prevent intel from being leaked. The railway forces are just temporarily seconded, so it's only natural that we don't know the Survey Corps cipher." Unable to make heads or tails of the notes, Dmitry puts them away for now. All 3 of them kept a separate copy on their persons, so it must contain some very important information. "I'm very aware of that. Goes without saying." Dmitry dismisses Klukai's observation. He checks the time and looks up the sky. He then turns to address his subordinates. "It's getting late. Get a move on and get this place cleaned up. We'll set up camp at the settlement tonight. This isn't exactly a place of peace and tranquility. Starting tonight, we're doubling the number of sentries in each shift. Also, I just asked over the comms. Our reinforcements are already underway. Just hang in there for a bit longer. Once we linked up with them and finish the job, we can kiss this crappy life goodbye. When we get back to the Great Wall Railway, promotions and pay raises await you." "Yes, sir." Dmitry is relieved to see that his subordinates' morale has not suffered too much. Just as he was about to leave, Klukai speaks up. "Dmitry." "What? Get out of the way." Klukai jabs a thumb to the side. "What do you want to say? Just say it right here. There are no dog tags on all 3 bodies. Are you sure you want to have this discussion here?" Dmitry raises an eyebrow. He walks out to the side and gestures for Klukai to follow him. "Did the dog tags found on the Boo Gem belong to them? But the remains show no sign of having been gnawed." "It's always but with you. There's danger everywhere in the yellow zones. Losing your dog tags isn't that unusual. From what I know, soldiers cling to their dog tags even in death. What do you tin cans know? Just do your job and mind your own business. Clearly unwilling to continue the conversation, Dmitry storms off. Looks like Mr. Dmitry is still not ready to face the truth. He's still trying to delude himself, even when such an obvious problem is staring him in the face. He's shirking his duties. You may be a bit too harsh on him, Leader Kukai. So what do we do now? Are we also setting up camp nearby? Yeah, I'll check out the settlement, then I'll get in touch with Leva. Remind Michty and Belka to keep their mouths shut about Paradius. Sure. At night, most of the Survey Corps soldiers have already turned in. The few who were on sentry duty and the dolls of Hide 404 were together to patrol the area surrounding the settlement. Unable to go to sleep, Dmitry takes out the dog tags again. Oh, here we go. Young Dmitry. Hey, Nikolai, open up. Dmitry knocks on a door to a room in the dorms. His grin widens as he sees his friend. Nikolai freezes for a second before letting him in. Keep it down. Have you forgotten the rules? Oh, come on. Dmitry plunks himself down on an empty bed while Nikolai sits down by the desk in the center of the room and picks up the book he was in the middle of reading. Principles of Informatics. Still reading physical books in this day and age? What a freaking nerd. But that's good. Machines can't be trusted. Oh wow. Well, there you go. Even his hatred for machines goes back till now. I thought maybe we'll see the reason why here. The droids that used to serve with us on the battlefield wouldn't even recognize us after their authorizations got rewritten when the URNC army took over. To think I took a liking to that little surveillance drone and even treated it like a pet. Dima, not so loud. Fine, I'll drop my voice. Dmitry takes in the empty dorm room and slaps the wooden bed frame absent-mindedly. You're the only one left in this room, eh? Yeah. The last one left last night. I retired from service and went home. What about you? Do what I gotta do. Nikolai scribbles a mark on his book. Huh. You seem awfully ablaze about this. Or is it blasé? General Carter's must have affected your family, surely. It's not anything out of the ordinary for an old man to step down. Why are you here? You didn't come just to show your concern about my family, did you? I came because of this. Dmitry pulls a piece of paper out of his pocket and gives it a wave. Nikolai grows still. A transfer order, stamped this morning. I'm going to, Breton. I'm gonna spend a few years on the border. Then, God knows where they'll send me. With your rank, you could have applied to stay. Staying doesn't seem like such a good idea. I'd rather be exiled along with my brothers. I hear they're gonna build up something called the Great Wall Railway, and we'll be the reserve garrison force. It sounds pretty tough, but now that I think about it, there should be plenty of opportunities to turn and neat profit. Then when I make a fortune, I'll take my brothers, leave the army, and start a business. You don't want to serve anymore? Guess not, no point. I used to head onto the battlefield with some sort of ideal. Now that General Carter is gone, and his followers and the KCCO are gone, I don't see the points in staying. This has nothing to do with our duty as soldiers. No? So who are we fighting for when nobody's left? Ghosts? As long as those we've sworn to protect are still there, we will remain soldiers, no matter where we're deployed. Dima, there's nothing wrong with being stationed on the border, but you mustn't let yourself loose. Hearing the disapproval in Nikolai's words, Dmitry's jauntly smile slowly disappears. Nikolai, I came to say goodbye, not to argue with you. I'm not arguing with you, I'm just telling the truth. Truth, my butt. Stop lying to yourself. Nobody gave a dang about the brothers who died. and those who somehow managed to survive were either demoted, dismissed, or even got court-martialed. They let small fries and non-core forces like us to keep our ranks, but sent us to marginalized departments as so-called reassignments. In a rage, Dmitry marches up to Nikolai and tears off his dog tag and throws it down on the desk in front of his friend. Dang. But yeah, we'll continue this on next time. We're at the 50-minute limit. Yeah, that's kind of crazy to see. Like Dmitry getting all angry now. But yeah, we'll resume this next time. So yeah, that'll be it for now, guys. That's game.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good